going to do another build-up game before the fall of Cadia. We're going to give it another week for people to read through the book, because we don't want to play the campaign and have it spoiled for anybody if they haven't read the story. So it's going to be a setup game. It's going to be a story that operates in the peripheries of the actual story in the book. Okay, so the story we're going for is an inquisitorial retinue has been cleansing this world of cultist uprising, and the Night Lords have came and pushed the Inquisitor off the planet and killed all the retinue. There's only the Inquisitor who escaped on a vessel, and while deep in space he has demanded the passing Space Wolves' assistance. So the Space Wolves are trying to make their way back to Cadia, and the assassins collared them and roped them into a battle against the Night Lords that they don't really want to be a part of. They would rather get back to Cadia to defend it. And so the Inquisitor thinks he's escaped, but did the Night Lords really just let him live and escape just so they can pull the Space Wolves into battle and intercept them before they go to Cadia? So the Night Lords are very cunning like that. So the mission we're playing is Deadlock. So on the first turn you start with 6 objectives, and then you go down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as the turns go by, and there's 6 objectives already on the battlefield. So we've got 3 in this end of the board. We've got one next to this ammo dump, one behind the I don't know what that would be, some sort of chemical system, and another one just in front of that where Vengeance weapon battery. Got another one in the woods here. This is going to be dangerous terrain if you go into there, because it's counted as booby trapped. Another objective amongst the ammo crates, and one last objective amongst the ammo dump on top of the sky shield. So the ammo dump here is going to give a 5+ save, and if you're on the waste factory thing, that's also a 5+ save, because there's not much cover on there. And also it's going to count for the base underneath, so not much hard cover going around in this game, so it's going to be to the death. Right, we've got 1850 worth of Space Wolves and an Inquisitor in here. So this is a Wolf Claw strike force from the Curse of the Wolfen book, and we're using the Great Pack for the core formation. So this is the standard one, it's not the Drake Slayers one. We're using this one because we fancied using the Thunderwolf Cavalry today. So leading this we've got Crom Dragongaze. He will be the Warlord, and alongside him is Ulrich the Slayer. Someone asked us to play Ulrich, so here he is. He's my version of Ulrich before the one that looks like Sean Connery's came out, so there he is. And they'll be accompanied by 10 Grey Hunters. They've all got close combat weapons, and there's 2 melter guns in there, a power fist, and the Wolf Pack leader, he has a frost sword. And they will be riding in the auxiliary, which is a Storm Wolf, and that's got the multi-melters on the side. We've got 2 more Grey Hunters here, so we've got 5-man unit. All have close combat weapons, a plasma gun and a frost sword for the Wolf Guard leader. This one's almost the same, except the Wolf Guard leader has a frost claw and a storm bolter. They both have dedicated razorbacks with the las cannons and a dozer blade each. And then we've got a unit of 10 Blue Claws. Wolf Guard leader, he's got the Frost Claws, and there's a Power Fist in there, and they have a drop pod, and that drop pod has a Deathwind missile launcher. We've got Long Fangs, 4 of them, 2 with missile launchers with flak missiles and a plasma cannon, and the Inquisitor Hereticus is with them. He does get a roll on the Warlord trait for his own Warlord traits, I suppose, even if he's not the Warlord. So we did that, but he got preferred enemy Psychers, I think, but there is no Psychers. And he's got a Psyoculum, but there is no Psychers, so we've wasted a few points there, unfortunately. But that's what happens. And the flat missiles, there's no flyers today, so a few points have went awry, but that's what happens. And then we've got Thunderwolf Cavalry, all with storm shields, and one of them has a Thunder Hammer. The guy with the lovely blonde hair and beard. He will be the Wolf Guard Sergeant for that team.
Alright, so we've got 1850 Sons of Curse here, the Night Lords, and many of these are truly veterans of the Long War, having taken part in the Eye of Terror campaign way back in the day, and you'll see that most of them haven't been rebased since then. The bikers have. One or two additions, one or two changes, but
yeah, these have already defeated the Emperor once before.
Yeah, we were there at Games Workshop.
2003, we were there when the Emperor fell, right?
Okay, so now what we've got then? Well, we have Chaos Warband. Chaos Warband is led by the Lord here, and he leads the whole army as well. And he has Adamantium Will and Fearless for his Warlord trait, and he has the Claws of the Black Heart, the +1 strength, AP3, the Mastercrafted, the Rending and Shred, and he's got the Sigil of Corruption, of course. And we have 3 Terminators over here, and 2 of them have Combi Melters and his Power Fist. And moving down, we have 3 units of 10 Chaos Space Marines, and one by one we've got 2 Plasmas in the first squad. They all have combat weapons, and the champion has the Plasma Combi Power Sword. And the next lot we've got similar deal there. I think the champion just has a bolter in that one. Bolt pistol. And in this one we have the champion with the Combi Flamer, and we have a Flamer, and we have a Melter. All of these boys are riding a Rhino. Rhino has a Havoc launcher, and one of them has a Combi Flamer over here. And at the back we've got Havocs, and 6 of them, 4 of them with heavy bolters. And moving along, 2 units of bikes, 3 in each, and the champions have got melter bombs. Okay, so now we've got over here one of the new formations, and it's what is it?
Vulnerable 6 for all vehicles, and you can fix them up a little bit better.
+1 repair, so yeah. So yeah, within 12 inches of him you get a 6+ invulnerable. So we've got the Land Raider, and we've got a Vindicator with Combi Boulder and a Storm Shield, Sea Shield, and a basic Predator with the heavy bolters and autocannon.
Okay, so because these Night Lords are truly veterans of the Long War, everyone gets Veterans of the Long War for free with this one. And just in case anyone isn't familiar with the new rules for Legions, the Night Lords, they get a better chance to cause fear, although that's not going to matter this time against the Space Wolves because they know no fear. But things that could come into play is they can all re-roll failed charge rolls, and they've all got stealth, and they can choose if they want to be night on the first turn, and if they do, it's effectively shrouded for all of the infantry units. So we'll cover that as it comes, but they do have a lot of good boons now, especially having Long War, Veterans of the Long War for free. They definitely deserve it. These have been around for a long time, these boys. Okay, both sides are on the battlefield now, so it's a hammer and anvil deployment, so it's short end to short end, and Space Wolf set up first. So we've got the Long Fangs with the Inquisitor on this objective here right next to the barrel. So the Space Wolves demanded that the Inquisitor stay with the oldest amongst the Space Wolves and keep himself out of the Space Wolves' way, so they put him with the old ones who know how to handle such a guy. We've got the Thunderwolves right in the front line, and there's a Razorback just ready to seize this objective at any given time. And then the last Razorback is just trying to take cover behind this tank trap here, and it could be on its way to this objective. We didn't know where the Night Lords were going to be, so they've set up, and we've got 2 rhinos full with Chaos Marines on this side claiming these 2 objectives, and the bulk of the Night Lords are on this side of the table. So we've got everyone just about. There's 2 bikes, all of the vehicles from the Fist of the Gods formation. We've got Terminators, the Warlord and the Warpsmith inside the Land Raider, and they're already on an objective, so the Night Lord's got the lion's share of the objectives, and then we've got the Havoc squad in this ruin here. Okay, and the Warpsmith, he's got an extra rule. He's going to shatter defences, he's going to shatter this piece of terrain here, so this wall of ammo was a 5+ save, now it's a 6+ save, so that's really worrying for the Space Wolves. And the Space Wolves in reserve have the Stormwolf with Crom and his unit of Grey Hunters, and Yulric's in there, and there's a drop pod to come in on the first turn. So just something else of note, it's the first time I'm going to use the Supremacy Tactical Objectives. So maybe it's not be the best climate to try these out. They're apparently hard to achieve, and I feel that the Space Wolves are up against it here. So the Night Lords are going to have to do
steal the initiative.
The roll. So it's a 3, so the Space Wolves will go first. Right, turn 1 for Space Wolves. First things first, the Bloodclaw's drop pod is going to try and land just next to this objective, and he's going to go back. That's a 6. So if you notice, I'm using white dice because someone commented that my black dice don't work, so I'm using the opposite white, see if we can get any better. So that's going back 6 all the same. Okay, so the drop pod lands there, and the Bloodclaws get out. So it's very, very dangerous. There's a Vindicator just on the opposite side of this waste plant. We're going to have to do some good runs with them when the time comes. Right, so aside from the drop pod landing, not a lot has moved. So the Thunderwolf cavalry going across the table this way, they will run, looking to support the Bloodclaws there eventually. We're going to have to run the gauntlet of firepower from the Night Lords, and this Razorback just moves its turret. We'll try and pick on a vehicle here. If we can take out this Rhino, there could be a point in it for us. And we've already done the Psychic Phase. The Inquisitor tried to do Prescience on the Long Fangs, and we didn't get enough warp charges really to pull that off, so that is a failure. So no Twin Link Long Fangs this turn. So we've only got a couple of shots to do, and I think we might as well open up with the missiles from the Long Fangs. So we're going to do 2 missiles, and we're going to fire at this Rhino here. So here we go, and we'll also do the plasma cannon at it as well. So 2 missiles. That's cocked eye. Oh, no hits so far. No hits at all. Oh dear. Right, and plasma cannon. Does it get hot? No. So we're going to land it right in the centre of the Rhino. Can't allow this to scatter. Okay, so the blast is going to try and hit there. What are we looking at? So it's going to scatter 6 inches, so 2 inches. It might clip the Predator as well. Okay, so that plasma cannon shot, it falls here in between the 2 vehicles, so it's going to hit both. Against the Rhino, it's strength 7, no good. And against the Predator, No good, because that's armor 13 predators, so no good from the long fangs. Right, so we're going to try and rely on this razorback now. It's going to fire the shot over to this rhino again. We're going to try and get it. It's slightly obscured, so it's going to get a 5+ save. But it's night, so it's going to go down to 4. So here we go with the twin last cannon. It's a hit. And it's a pen, so we're going to need to save on a 4 here because of night. So that falls off the table.
Nervous roll, if ever there was one.
Try again. And it's a save.
Black dice work.
Black dice work on someone else. Right, one more twin link last cannon shot from the far razorback. It's going to fire through all of this gubbins at this Vindicator. If we can silence it, that might be good. So it's going to get a good 3+ save even if it hits. But it's hit. Last cannon, no good. So nothing has happened for the Space Wolves this turn. So it's just now on to runs. We're going to run the Thunderwolves and the Bloodclaws. Okay, so even runs not going too well. The Thunderwolf Cavalry only managed to go 1 inch, even though they've got fleet. I rolled a 2 and then re-rolled a 2 or 1. Thank you very much. And then the Bloodclaws only run 2 inches themselves, so it's just not going well. But we've got the last shot of the turn. It's going to be the drop pod with the Deathwind launcher at this rhino. Strength 5, so it could hurt. So directly in the centre of it. And we roll high when we don't want to roll high, so it's going to go 7 inches. Right, so that's the end of the Space Wolves turn. And although absolutely nothing happened with the Space Wolves, hardly, we do get D3 for area control, because there's no enemy units within 12 of the board, and we only got that because there's no way there can be, so that's no fault of our own, through no achievement of our own, should we say. It's just because that's the card that we drew. So we've pretty much rolled 1s and 2s exclusively this turn, but this is the one that we want to roll high on. This is the one that matters. D3 points. Yes, there's a confidence 6. Alright, so 3 points for the Space Wolves in a turn that could be questionable. Right, Night Lord's set up for a counter attack now. The orders have came through, and we've got hold the line. So these bikes have dropped back. They're not going forward. They're going to take those orders and score a point out of that one. And it's already going to score objective 5 and 1 thanks to all these objective secured rhinos and Night Lords. They've all piled out, all 20 of them. They're going to take on the Bloodclaws, so it's not forecasting. The forecast for them is going to be bad. That's what we're trying to say. So they're going to take on a hell of a lot of bolt of fire, and it's the same over here. This rhino comes forward, out pop some veterans. 10,000 years of hate is going to rain onto the Thunderwolf Cavalry, and a little lapse in concentration means I've left the choice Thunderhammer right on the wing, exposed. So terrible play from the Space Wolves there, and they're going to get piped big time. And then we've got Predator. He's going to fire up at the long fangs, I think. And then we've got these 2 nasty tanks in the middle. Who knows what they're going to do? Probably pick up the slack. Got a lot of points in it for the Night Lords this turn. So here they go. A lot of dice going to be thrown against the Space Wolves. It's going to be ugly. So the Night Lord's Predator is the first one to open fire onto the long fangs. Not very good from the Night Lords either. They've only scored 2 wounds, so we're going to save these on 3s. And we do. So the Wolf Guard Ancient takes those. Right, so the next unit to open fire is this unit I've gotten out of this rhino. Open up with plasma guns at the Thunderwolves, and there must be something in the air in this battlefield. A lot of 1s going around, and because of that, one of the plasma gun gets hot and kills himself. And then eventually there's only been 2 hits because of this combi plasma and this plasma. So 3 plasma guns to fire and then 2 hits. So 2s to wound against toughness 5, and they go through. Now we do have storm shields, so let's hope for the best. Alright, a wound on the hammer cavalry guy. So there's a lot of bolters to go. There's 7 bolters to fire now. Rapid fire range as well. Both sides having difficulties here. Only 2 wounds of all of the bolter fire. So again, 3s. And he takes them. So the Thunderhammer will live on to the firepower of that unit, but there's a lot more to fire. Right, the Night Lord's Vindicator's up next. He's going to fire through, and he's targeting here, so we're going to see where this lands. It's a direct hit, so there's 2 under the blast, so 2's to wound. This is terrifying. This is insta-killing shots against the Thunderwolves. So 2's to wound. Double wound, so here's the shields coming to play again. Oh, just 1 save. Alright, so it's going to be the nearest, and it'll be the Thunderhammer, unfortunately. But he was on his last wound anyway, so 1 casualty so far for this battle. Okay, the Heavy Bolter Havocs are up next, onto the Thunderwolves. Good hits and good wounds. There's 5 wounds to save for these Thunderwolves. Really taking some stick. And failed 2, so that's the front one dead. There's only the Wolfpack leader left now. Going down thick and fast. Okay, so the last Thunderwolf cavalry members come under fire from the Land Raider, so there's 3 hits on him. It doesn't matter if it's a last cannon. There's 1 hit from the last cannon and 2 hits from the Heavy Bolter, so it's not going to insta-kill him. And he's got a Storm Shield, so they're all in 3s anyway. So, and he does save them all, so this guy's a bit of a hero. And the Night Lords have Psychological Warfare, which is quite apt for the Night Lords, so there's still 1 left. That might be a good way to achieve that if he doesn't be killed by all of this firepower. Right, this Rhino opens fire with the Havoc Launcher on top. Strength 5, achieves a single wound on the Thunderwolf cavalry member, and he's going to take it, so he's wounded. Alright, we're on this side of the battlefield now. It's not going to get any easier for the Space Wolves. There's 2 Flamer templates coming in. There's going to be 4 each time, so there's going to be 8 hits from the Flamers. Okay, so out of 8 hits, 5 wounds, so we're going to need to save these on 3s. Oh, 2 die, first 2 drop, and there's a lot of bolters to fire. There's even a melter gun in there. Poor, blood close. Okay, so the melter gun and bolters and the Rhino with the Havoc Launcher fires. The Havoc Launcher misses, but the melter gun and the bolters managed to kill a few more blood claws, so there's only 6 left now, being nearly halved, so they're going to have to take a morale check at the end of the turn. That's if this unit doesn't choose to fire at them. Is this unit firing at them, or are we going to...
Sure.
Okay, we'll see what happens here then. Okay, so as I suspected, the Night Lords can't see this unit of blood claws since they've been dropped down behind that tank trap and behind the drop pod. So what they're going to do is going to try and seize that first blood. They're going to fire those 2 plasma guns into the drop pod. So the 2 different coloured dice represent the 2 different blocks firing. So hitting on 3s.
One's on there.
Alright, just 1 gets hot roll there, but 2 hits.
You need to serve on his armour.
And he killed himself. It's no country for plasma guns here. There's 2 hits, strength 7, they're going to need 5s to glance. Not a glance, so the drop pod lives and the Night Lord dies. Okay, so that's the end of the shooting phase for the Night Lords. It's slightly troubling how the Night Lords killed more of themselves than the Space Wolves did in their turn. 2 plasma gunners died, was more than the Space Wolves did, but they're going to try and get the all-important victory point. They didn't get first blood, but what they can try and get is psychological warfare. So this Thunderwolf is on a 9, and that's a 10. So he's going to drop back 3d6. Here he goes, and he's going back 5 inches. And the blood claws, they're on a 9 as well, because the Wolfpack leader is still alive, and they pass most importantly. So he's going to drop back, and that's going to be a point. So we weren't bothered about him dropping back, but I mean, giving up a point on a 10, that's just not good enough, Space Wolves. Okay, so a respectable 4 points for the Night Lords in that turn. It would have been drawing if that Thunderwolf cavalry leader rallied, but he will. Sorry, if he passed his test, but he will rally next turn, so he will be back in the fight. He's already got a wound, so I don't know what he's going to do. And so that was 1 point for that. And the Night Lords pick up a point for this objective and this objective, and of course hold the line as well. So 4 points for the Night Lords that turn. Good round for them, point wise anyway. Space Wolves turn 2, so it's now 5 objective cards in the bank for each player. The Storm Wolf automatically comes on as part of the Space Wolves formation trait, so we're going to try and take out a troop's choice, which will be this Rhino, and that'll score us a point, I believe, possibly D3, but we'll definitely some points in there if we can take that out. Thunderwolf automatically rallies, so he's back on his way. It's very frustrating him losing a little bit of ground because he was going to charge this unit here. So we're going to fire at those with the long fangs. We'll try to get prescience off once again in the static phase, but we'll roll the 1 for the warp charge yet again. So there's not enough dice to try and get that off, so it didn't come off. And this Rhino's Razorback rather is staying relatively the same. He's going to fire a last cannon shot down at the armour of the Night Lords downfield. And the Blood Claws are moving up to try and take on this Night Lords unit, so they've definitely got the work cut out for them. They're going to need to be heroes because there's a lot of veterans of the Long War in there. They're a vicious unit themselves. So in close support, this Razorback has moved 12. We'll probably move flat out just to try and get there in time. Hopefully the Blood Claws can hold on just for a little bit. Right, we're going to fire the Long Fangs first. We're going to fire them at this unit here. So we're going to do the Plasma Cannon first. We're going to try and put it just here. See if we can get 3 Night Lords. So here we go. Does he get hot? No. It's 5, so that's good. Does he hit? Yes he does. So we've got 3 Night Lords. 2s. We'll just say get it. There's 3 2s. And Night Lords have stealth, so they will get 6s to save even if they're out in the open. No, so 3 go down, and most importantly, that is a Plasma Gunner, and it's going to be him. And then it's a lookout, sir, for your champion because he's just under the ring, and he makes it, so it's going to be the next nearest, so that'll be him. So 3 Night Lords go down so far, and then we've got 2 rockets to fire. In fact, we're going to fire the Longfang Ancient's Bolter first at the champion before he becomes out of range. So he hits, it's a wound, save on a 3 for the Night Lord champion. Or you're going to do a lookout, sir, first.
That's it.
Okay, he makes it, and
saves.
No, so another Night Lord goes down. It's good work from the Longfangs this turn. And then the 2 missiles, 2 hits, that's really good. And again 2 wounds, 7 on 6s. So you're going to do lookout, sir, first, in fact. So 2 lookout, sirs. No, he doesn't make it, so there's going to be
6 to save.
6 to save, yeah, for him. And what is that? That's disappeared into the beyond.
4.
So, right, the champion's dead, and then you need a save for this next guy next to the Rhino here, and he gets a 3. So that Night Lord's unit's really been hammered thanks to those Long Fangs. That's really good going. Right, the Stormwolf is going to open fire now. We're going to have all of the weapons at this Rhino to try and gain a point, and then we're going to do the Hellfrost Cannon on Power the Machine Spirit, and that is going to do a trick shot at these Havocs, and because it'll hit the top level, it'll hit the 3 on the top and the 2 underneath. So if we can get a hit with that, that'll be 5 in total. So let's do that first. Strength 6, and it does hit. So there's 5 in total. This is going to be a good turn if we can see these off. 2's to wound. Right, so there's 4 wounds, and it's a 5+ save in those runes, in that sort of waste as we said at the start of the game. But Night Lords do have stealth, so it's going to go to a 4+ save for them. And 3 go down, so the nearest, so that'll be at least a heavy bolter. Right, so we'll fight the Stormwolf's guns, the rest of the heavy hitting guns at this Rhino, and it's exploded, so with the melter guns, and it's exploded 4 inches, so we're going to get the remaining 3 Night Lords in the blast. Just 1 single wound, saved on a 3, and he saved, so no damage there, but that is the victory point we were looking for the Space Wolves. So it's turned around here for the amazing firepower on this side of the battlefield. Okay, we've got one last trick shot up our sleeve on this side. We've got this Razorback. He's going to fire through now that the course is clear onto this Predator. So he's going to hit on a 3. Hits. 5 is a pen. That's going to go straight through. We're going to have to see if he gets a cover save at all here. So no cover save. It's got a clean line of sight there to him. So what's the damage? 3 goes to 4. So he's not going to be able to move, and he's on snap fire. Right, so on this side of the battlefield, we're going to fire the Deathwind launcher from the drop pod. This is a good target in the distance, but we're going to have to take down some of these chaos if we want to win this combat at all. So we're going to put it on the back of that melter gunner's base, and if we can just hit, and that'll scatter an inch, so that's good enough for us. Right, so the Deathwind launcher pretty much lands on target. It's got 8 under the blast template, so it's strength 5, so we're needing 3s to wound here. It's going to be devastating. All except 1. Ugh. Okay, Night Lords to save them, 7 wounds, saved on 3s. And they do, that was a spectacular roll. Right, the Blood Claws fired the pistols and we even threw a grenade at the Night Lords and didn't even kill one. So we're going to have to go into the charge. We're hoping we could just take out that flamer with the drop pod and some pistols, but no, he stands. So we're going to have to run through a wall of death here to try and get into combat. Alright, at the end of the shooting phase, to finish off the shooting phase, the Thunderwolf cavalry, he ran a little bit and the Razorback moved flat out, but now it's leadership test for this unit on the hill. They're on a 9, but they're passed. We've lost the champion, and so have the Havocs, and they pass just on a 9 thanks to Veterans of the Long War. Might have seen some brave chaos fall away there, but that's not to be. They stand. Right, no damage from the Overwatch who came through the fire and the melter guns and the bolters untouched. So we're going to charge. 3-inch charge. So we've just gotten in. Right, so the Blood Claws just say make it in and the Night Lords pile in. We've got a challenge in there, so we've got the Lightning, the Wolf Clawed, Wolf Leader, Wolf Bat Leader, and he's got 4 attacks hitting on 4s. So he's got 2 hits and he's wounded on 3s because of Wolf Claws. And Shred. Right, so just kill the Chaos Champion, but he will fight back.
Well done, Claude.
He re-rolls because he's got Veterans of the Long War. So he's hit 3 times.
Well done, Jimmy.
And he's wounded on a 4. Gets 1 wound. And he saves, so he comes away
laughing.
The victor. Good lad, good lad. Okay, so the Wolf Pack Leader stands victorious, and now it's the rest of the combat to fight. Alright, so that is the aftermath of the combat. Heavy casualties on both sides, 4 each. So it's drawn, so the fight on. Right, so the Space Wolves score 2 points in that turn. It could have been so much more if those Blood Claws won in the assault, because let's say I did kill them in the assault, I would have got D3 plus 3 victory points instead of 1. So D3 plus 3, and I would have got a further 2 if I destroyed them. So that could have been a mammoth turn, but instead we come away with the bare minimum. So that's 2 points, which I will still take gladly in such a brutal game. So it's really made the difference in that that second turn for the Space Wolves. First turn terrible, second turn great. So here we go, Night Lords to retaliate, and also add on to that an extra point because we did get first blood for knocking out the this rhino here. So yeah, 3 points for the Space Wolves that turn. That's pretty good. Right, Night Lords in turn 2 now. So the vehicles have finally decided to come forward. They need the objective next to the ammo crates, so they have to venture out there into that field. The bikes have come forward as well. And basically, public enemy number 1 is this last remaining Thunderwolf cavalry. Everyone's trying to get a line of sight on them. So this unit of Night Lords has run a great deal. 6 forward, straight forward towards the Thunderwolf cavalry member. So again, he's targeted by most people.
Yeah, moved, they didn't run. Moved
through cover is what I meant. And the Rhino has also moved forward, so things are starting to creep forward for the Night Lords. They're searching for points. So it's on the shooting phase for the Night Lords.
Yeah.
Right, so the Thunderwolf cavalry member died to just the first shot, the Havoc launcher, so he just was destined to die. And then the heavy bolters from the Havocs, they've fired right over here to the Long Fangs, and they saved. There was only 2 hits on them. But in different news, this Snapfiring Predator hits twice on the Stormwolf for dunching and gets a penetration and rolls a 6, so it's immobilised, and on a 1 or 2 it's going to crash. and it crashes and burns and kills. So everyone doesn't quite die, but Crom does, and Ulrich, and 8 of the Grey Hunters are dead. So 2 survivors. They need to do a pinning test, and they're pinned as well for the trouble. So they, okay, so we've resolved the combat in the corner over there, and there's only 1 blood claw left, but we did win the combat, and he did kill the champion. So that's assassinate, and the warlord's dead because Crom died in that fiery crash. And Big Game Hunter because he shot down the Storm Wolf with a quadruple 6 roll, so there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, so there's only one thing left to do for this turn, and that's to see if these Space Wolves drop back. We're going to hope that they fill the leadership again, so we can try and undo that pin, so they can try and get back into the game. Nope, they're going to stay put and still be pinned, so they're not going to contribute next turn. So that was an absolutely devastating turn from the Night Lords. Absolutely devastating. Okay, so the Space Wolves are going to need all the blessings of the Emperor to dig themselves out of this one. Don't think it's going to happen, but they have to try. So the Grey Hunters have got out of this Razorback. We're going to bet it all. We're going to try and blow up this Land Raider with that las cannon. Hopefully we can fire the Grey Hunters at the contents inside. Of course, the Long Fangs are going to have to stay put on the Sky Shield. See if we can pick off maybe some vehicles. Hopefully we can get rid of that Vindicator. And on this side of the battlefield, the Razorback goes forward 6. We're going to try and shoot into the side of the Vindicator. These Grey Hunters get out. We're going to try and take out this Rhino. It's holding an objective that we sort of need to take. If we destroy that Rhino and then somehow this Bloodclaw wins the combat and consolidates onto that objective, we get D3 victory points. It's such a long shot, it's all we can do, so we're trying to salvage some pride out of this one. Okay, so we're going to shoot the las cannon from this Razorback at the side of the Vindicator. Hits. It's only 11 on the side of the Vindicator, so that's a pen. And the Warpsmith is inside the Land Raider, so he's going to actually give any vehicle from his formation within 12 a 6+ invulnerable save, so he's going to have to try and save on a 6. What's that? It's a 5, so that goes through. So what's the damage? Oh, it's a 1, but the gun, it falls silent this turn. At least that's something. Okay, this Razorback to go now, firing at the Land Raider. We need nothing short of a miracle here. So it hits, we need that again, we need that 6. And we get it. So can you save on that invulnerable 6? Oh, damn it. Okay, we need some success. We're going to have to fire the Deathwind Launcher from the drop pod amongst this cluster of Marines. So we'll try and get the lot if we can land. And we do, so that's going to be 10 wounds at strength 5. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so there's actually just 9 in there because one of them dies to getting hot with a plasma gun. So 9, needing 3. So that's okay. 3 don't convert. Okay, so armor saves for the Night Lords here, needing 3s. Right, Right, just one goes down. We've got very good armour these. Right, this Grey Hunter squad up next, going to fire the plasma gun rapid fire into this Rhino. Gets 2 hits, strength 7. Just a single glance, and then we're going to throw a grenade from the lead Grey Hunter, and he misses, so only 1 hull point. So all the light of the Emperor has abandoned us, it seems. Okay, so the last stand of the Space Wolves continues. We're going to do the long fangs now. Again, we've tried to do a static power. We rolled low on the warp charges again, so it didn't really have enough dice. Tried to give this squad an invulnerable force save, but failed. So we're going to do the long fangs weapons. We're going to do the split fire rule. We're going to have the plasma cannon, try and get retaliation on this predator, this cursed predator. And then we're going to fire the 2 missile launchers. We're going to fire the frag missiles. We're going to fire them all the way across here into that cluster of Night Lords next to the drop pod, because we need to try and bring them down. We need to do something on that side of the board, since that's where our Grey Hunters are, and we need that objective 1 somehow, so we're going to have to protect them. So that's what we'll do. So does the plasma cannon get hot? No. Right, so we're going to fire that plasma blast right into the centre of this vehicle, see if we can get a hit, and that's going to go 8 inches. -4, so that's going to go 4. It's probably going to find itself off the table. Yep, so that blast goes off the table. Now we've got the 2 rockets. They're going to fire over this way, see if we can get some direct hits. So we're going to try and just put it amongst them. So the first one is going to scatter 1 inch. So that inch scatter is going to get 5. There's a cluster of them in there. And then the second one, whoops, see if we can get a hit. No, it's going to go miles away, absolutely miles away. So just 5 strength 4 hits. Okay, so out of 5 hits, we only managed to get 2 wounds and only fail 1 armor save. So they survived some blast tablets, these Night Lords, and they've came out just rosy. They've only lost 2 in total. They've been fired at twice from the drop pod so far, and all those blasts, and they're just still holding strong. So there's nothing else we can do now. There's only 1 squad of Grey Hunters to fire, and they will fire at the Night Lord's bikes just down this channel here. Okay, so we're going to open up with the plasma gun first at the Night Lord's bikes, and they will elect to jink because Night Lords all have stealth, and the bikes are going to be able to jink and save on a 3, so that's really good for the Night Lords. So hitting on 3s with the plasma gun, there's 2 hits, 2's the wound, so just 1 wound. And saving on that jinking 3. No, so just 1 bike goes down. Okay, and we've fired the bolters to no effect. Only got 1 hit, and it wasn't enough to wound. So there's only a squadron of 3, so they have lost 1. So that will be a morale check. So the Night Lords are leadership. They'll be 10 because they've still got the champion with them, and they pass. So they hold strong. They are jinking, but surely they'll be into combat the next time. So that concludes the Space Wolves turn, and no points for the Space Wolves, just couldn't get anything. In fact, it's not the end of the turn. We've got 1 combat with 1 Marine on this side. Okay, we almost forgot the last stand of this Bloodclaw, so here he goes. Okay, so this Bloodclaw is showing everyone how it's done. Survives all the attacks from the Night Lords and dishes out 1 mighty blow with a power fist and kills 1. So he's won the combat. So the Space Marines are down to leadership 8 because they're veterans of the Long War and they don't have the champion. So on the 8, they hold. So that fight will continue. Alright, so the Night Lords putting themselves into position to finally put the Space Wolves out of the misery. This unit only moves 3 through cover, but the most important weapon, the plasma gun, is in rapid fire range of these poor Grey Hunters. These 3 step forward to add the weight of fire as well, and this Vindicator pulls forward to claim this objective as well, so everything's going the Night Lord's way. And over here the Night Lords are going to deliver the killing blow. So the Night Lord Warlord has gotten out of the Land Raider with his bodyguard. They're going to surely just take apart this Grey Hunter squad with relative ease. This non-jinking bike squad are going to add some fire to the long fangs. and the unit of bikes they were jinking, they're going to finish off these last two Grey Hunters, and then this Predator is no longer snapping. This hero Predator is going to do some shots on the Long Fangs as well, so it's all set up to be an eradication from the Night Lords. Going to murder the weak. The Night Lords are really taking it to the Space Wolves now, so the bikes over here and the combined might of the Predator, a few heavy bolters, and the Land Raider manages to kill all of the important people in the Long Fangs. The Inquisitor's gone, the Ancient, and most importantly the Plasma Cannon, so that's no longer here to try and drop a blast on these Terminators if anything was to go south over here for the Night Lords. So they've dealt with the most important gun over here, and there's this to go. We've got Flamer in there, he's probably going to get all 5, and then there's the double combi melters, and then even the Warpsmith, he's got a melter gun as well. So I think the ambition for the Night Lords is to kill these down to a man, just leave the Wolf Guard leader alive, and then do a multi-assault on him and the Razorback. That would just be vicious. So we'll get these shots fired, see what happens. Okay, it's just about worked like clockwork. All the Grey Hunters are dead except 2, so there's still a gap there to launch a multi-assault, so it's going well for the Night Lords here. This unit of Night Lords fires next. Surprisingly, the plasma gun gets hot but saves himself and rolls a 1 to wound, so it doesn't get any casualties from the plasma gun, but the bolters fire and they've achieved 5 wounds, so we're going to have to see how good these Grey Hunters can save. And 2 drops, so the first 2 go down. Okay, they're still not out of the fire yet. There's 2 Rhinos with Havoc launchers. They're going to try and place both blasts here, so these are twin linked, so they'll surely just get hit. So first one, that is going to miss, so if you want to try that again, it's twin linked. Okay, that's a direct hit. And the second one, if you just want to do that as well, there you go. And that's a direct hit, so 2 solid hits. Okay, so the combined fire of the Havoc launchers and these 3 bolters, got 1 Grey Hunter left, and he's the Sergeant, so he's still got the Frost Sword. And because of the Space Wolves formation, he will get a charge in the Night Lord's turn if he can reach into that combat and maybe help the Bloodclaw out, but I think it's past that now. Alright, so we're on to the assault phase now. All of the Grey Hunters and Long Fangs have passed the morale check, so they will all stand where they are. I'm not sure why they should run and try and save themselves, but they're going to stand and die. So these Night Lords do assault in. They're going to go in 5 with that split charge we talked about earlier. I don't think they're going to be able to get in to the secondary combat, but they will certainly finish off those Grey Hunters. And this combat's a sure thing, they're right in the doorstep. And lastly, we've got this Grey Hunter. He's going to try and make a 9-inch charge into this combat, and he's going to try and make something of himself. Here we go. It's a 4, we're going to need a 5. No, so he's not going to be able to get into that combat. Okay, so we're going to let the Warlord, Night Lord, he's going to issue a challenge to the Pat Leader, and in a blasphemous reflection, he's got a special pair of lightning claws that basically wolf claws, but they rend, so the strength 5 and AP 3 with rending. He's not going to need it. He's got 5 attacks, so they've all hit. You've got Veterans of the Longbow, so you can re-roll. Yep, so they all hit, and wounding on 2s. I'll roll those. No, wound on 3, sorry. But with shred, so that's a wipeout. Clearly an easy kill. That's just how the Night Lords like it. Okay, this combat with the bikes hammer Wrath and killed our 1 Grey Hunter, and then they couldn't kill each other. The Grey Hunter drops out of the combat, so he's running away, so it's about the right reaction to this, I think. And in this combat, the brave Bloodclaw with the Power Fist finally goes down without the support of his brother Wolf there. Finally dies, so that is the death of the Space Wolves en masse. There is only heavies left really. There's two Long Fangs, 2 Razorbacks, and 1 Grey Hunter. It's went terribly, terribly wrong. Okay, so 2 points for the Night Lords in that phase. They got Kingslayer because Crom died in that fiery wreck. Only rolled 1 on the D3, so there's 1 point, and scored this objective here with the Vindicator. And we're going to see what the Warlord turns into on the boon table to 2. And he's not a spawn. We're hoping he would turn into a spawn just because. But that is going to be the end. The Night Lords will win because the Space Wolves are going to concede after such a brutal beating. They just weren't in it at all, I don't think. Especially when the Storm Wolf went down, that was it. Just totally gone. Any chance of hope extinguished under the boot of the Night Lords. So pretty much a perfect display, perfect debut from the Night Lords there. What more can you ask?